Hello, my name is Sophia Engelking, and I did my reading ladder over Angel of Greenwood. And for my essential question, it is, how does the concept of forbidden love play into the idea of social class and or reputation? And for my first source, I decided to use Grease Live, the 2016 version, which is the rendition of, the classic 1978 original, which I'm sure we all know and love. And why I chose this was because it does obviously tie back into the essential question, but mainly Danny and Sandy, the two main characters, they meet in the summer and they fall in love, and they go back to school and Sandy ends up transferring, and Danny tries to downplay their situation in order to kind of save his reputation. He wanted to act tough and act like he didn't really have any feelings, and I did choose a little clip and we will just watch it real quick.
Sure, nothing, Zuko. Come on.
You got it in your drawers, right? Come on, tell us about the girl.
So what'd you do this summer, Sandy? Oh, I spent most of it at the beach. I met a boy there.
I'm gonna haul your cookies all the way to the beach for some guy?
Oh, he was sort of special.
There ain't no such thing.
Oh, you haven't met this boy. It was really romantic.
Come on, please!
What? You guys really want to hear all the horny details? All right.
So yes, we can see that his friends do play a big role in wanting to keep his reputation. Again, he doesn't want to seem like he has feelings for her and kind of wants to act tough. And for the next source, I decided to use the Nicholas Sparks classic, The Notebook, which I'm sure everyone has either seen the movie or read the book. But I chose this source because previously, the Grease Live one, I talked about how friends can have an effect on your love life and kind of play into your reputation, and now we're moving on to how your family and your parents can have an effect on your love life, and specifically for this one, social class. And we'll go ahead and watch this clip real quick.
She is out fooling around with that boy till 2 o'clock in the morning, and it has got to stop. I didn't spend 17 years of my life raising a daughter and giving her everything so she could throw it away on a summer romance.
Daddy,
she will wind up with her heart broken or pregnant. Now, he is a nice boy. He's a nice boy, but he's what? He is what? Trash. No.
So yes, as you can see, her parents really do not approve of their relationship. Allie and Noah, those are the two main characters' names. And it's specifically about where Noah comes from. It's about his social class, where he grew up, his status, how much money he has. And so yes, that kind of plays into the concept of forbidden love having to do with family and social class. So now we looked at friends and then to family, and now we are going to look at how society can play a role into a forbidden love story. And for that, I chose Where Hands Touch. It's a movie, and what's interesting about this movie is, first of all, looking at the past two, it's different because for this instance, their situation, it is life or death. We're looking at a Jewish girl who falls in love with a Nazi soldier. And another interesting factor that also makes this situation even more complicated is that she is biracial. So that adds just another factor that makes the situation even more complicated and dangerous. We'll go ahead and watch this clip.
Heil Hitler!
So yes, as you can see, these two are kind of falling for each other, but their situation is so intense and severe and complicated that there's just a lot of factors that play into their forbidden love story. And so yes, that is how society can play a role into it. And next, I decided to use this poem written by Alex Evans called The World is Broken. You can go and pause to read it if you'd like. But basically, I chose this poem, just to add something more up for interpretation for students. Here it talks about it doesn't really give you a specific thing that's keeping this couple apart, but that's what adds good conversation, is we can kind of think what is keeping them apart. The last few lines we see, I'll swear that I will hold your hand, and together we can find a world that we finally understand. So it talks about not fitting into the world, so we can discuss what is a widely held belief in our world, in our society, that would be keeping two people apart. Is it reputation with friends? Is it your family? Is it something in society? So yes, that would add for good conversation. And next, I decided to use the source, which is a painting. It's called The Lovers. It's by a Belgian artist, René Magritte, and it was painted in Paris, France. It's in a museum in New York now. And basically I chose this source because, again, it's more up for interpretation, but what is so interesting about it is just the amount of questions you could bring into the classroom discussion about this. So, for example, what do these cloths represent? Why are they over their faces? If we took these cloths off their faces, what would we see? So again, that goes back into, like, what in the world is there that would keep this couple apart? Is it skin color? Is it status, social class? Is it family, friends? What is it? And then next, I decided to use this song Secrets, written by Ryan Tedder, who is the lead singer in OneRepublic. It came out in 2009, and it is kind of a classic. There's a lot of people that know the song. I know it was a big thing in kind of my generation, but when you look at the lyrics, you can tell it's kind of a love story, but something's keeping them apart. We see lyrics, something to get off my chest, don't care if critics ever jump the line, I'm gonna give all my secrets away. So we can ask our students, what would the critics be saying? What's the criticism that they're feeling? We could go in and analyze the lyrics together and kind of have a class discussion about that. And then lastly, I decided to use an episode from the podcast More Than a Crush. It's called When a Man Loves a Woman. It's episode 40. And what I decided to pull from that episode was the story that they told of Freddie Mercury and Mary Austin. And what's interesting about their love story is, yes, it's kind of like a forbidden love story, and just the factors that kind of play into it, like his sexuality, that was a big thing. But when you kind of do research about their love story and you'll listen to it in this episode, is you could tell he loved her so much, but there were just so many factors playing into it about why they couldn't be together. And but it goes as far as Freddie Mercury goes as far as like leaving his house for her after he died. And I inserted this quote from him that Mary Austin says that he said to her, and I thought it was very powerful. If things had been different, you would have been my wife, and this would have been yours anyway. So I thought that was a very powerful quote, and you could just tell how much he loved her, but there were so many factors playing into why they couldn't be together. So yeah, and then some similar novels that I think kind of go along with the forbidden love. Obviously the classic Romeo and Juliet, I mean, come on. The Grief Keeper, which I had just finished. That's another one dealing with sexuality if you're interested in that. And then there's the classic Flowers in the Attic. Although it's controversial, trigger warning for incest, I do think it's just like the perfect example of a forbidden love story, although it's controversial and inappropriate. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at this email address, and thank you for watching.